Hey, Kelsey, Norm MacDonald here. So, you have a podcast, huh? Fantastic. You know what I always say? You know what the world needs more of? Podcasts.
Live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios, the Kelsey Hudgins Show.
That's right, folks. Live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios, indeed. It's KREWBallWhiskey.com. Tomorrow's stories begin right here. Hashtag get screwed. Hashtag screw it forward. All other peanut butter whiskeys are posers, I'm telling you. Screwball Whiskey is the one and only original peanut butter whiskey. All the rest of them, boy, they're just a half-pint imitation. You know? Go get yourself a couple bottles. You'll wish you had two if you only have one. And drink Screwball responsibly, you know? Be responsible. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, the point that I was making is that only a person who has just recently gotten into baseball and is very excited about their team right now would call them points. I've been there. I've been the baseball fan that called them points. It's all right. Just saying. You got a little bit more skin in the game. Now, next time you hear somebody say points, you could look at them and say, "You don't watch much baseball, do you?" And they'd be like, "Honestly, no, I really don't. I'm more of a basketball fan." He'd be like, "Yeah, just a heads up that in baseball we call them runs, not points." Anyway, congratulations. Or whatever. Oh, you want to see something cool? Ooh. I should have used a paper towel, but who cares? I'm a disgusting creature. Ha! Disgusting creature. Anyway, where is this thing at? Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, I was feeling a little nostalgic with the Norm stuff the other day, so I figured I'd bring that back. Here I'm going to stop talking for a second and tell me if you can hear this music blasting outside my house right now. Can you guys hear that? Is it the microphone picking it up? Because it's... Can y'all hear that? It's wild. I don't know if you can, but there's something going on way... There's something wild going on outside my house. It's pretty loud. Like it's that music playing outside in somebody else's yard is louder than my it's like louder than the television that's usually playing behind me. I bet I'm not going to unscrew this foam filter and take it off, because this foam filter like masks a lot of the sound. If I were to take this filter off, you'd probably hear it a lot more. Or if I had like a condenser mic and not a dynamic mic. Anyway, that's beside the point. I hope you all are well. We had a nice little chat earlier about the song Hook by Blues Traveler. I hope you all listened to it afterwards that saw that video, because it was kind of cool. Yeah, I see the mic is a little quiet. I wasn't speaking directly into it. This is like one of those. So here's a fun fact. This is the same guts of the mic that the podcasters use, the big, thick, like the Joe Rogan mic. This is the interior of this mic is the same as that mic. But the only thing that sets that mic different apart from the others is there's a lot of directional foam. So like this little foam pop filter here is much larger and really slim on the edge. Yeah, that's a 7B. This is a 58, but they're both SMs. Or if this is a 57, actually. Anyway, Roll Tide. The hook brings you back. More hallelujahs than a Leonard Cohen song. Good Lord. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to do that song and the lyrics. Let's look into the lyrics. Is that what I called it? Or, yeah. A look into lyrics, or I don't know. I don't know what I called it. Let's talk lyrics. That's what I called it, right? Did I change the title to this? Is this titled the right thing? Somebody tell me if this is titled the right thing. Somebody from back home. Brother Patrick just texted me. No, I just said your name. He says he sees my face when he pees at Tito's. They got my sticker. Up in that joint. Let's catch up. That's right. That's okay. Cool. I'm farting so much, y'all. I'm just been a farting. Boy, I've been a farting left and right. I just been climbing up Fart Mountain all day. I just been, catching a train to Fartville all day. I've been, all day long. I've just been, hitching a ride to, hopefully get picked up in a fart truck. Man, I just been, just ever since I woke up today, boy, it's been fart central, around my britches. It's just, I farted first thing I woke up today, and I've continued to just fart, man. What it is just I've been farting a lot. Anyway, they smell nice. And by nice, I mean terrible. We all like our own. You're lying. You're lying to yourself if you know it. You piece of. All right. Anyway, let's just talk for a little while. There's nothing that we need to get into. It's consistent flavor. Nice flop, Frankie. Check out this. Decent flop. The undercarriage is nice. The sauce, good sauce. It's firm, Frankie. That fart. 7.5. Mark it, Frankie. Man, yeah, dude, let's just catch up. So here lately, I have been working at the Sunset Strip Comedy Club in downtown Austin, Texas, right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of the thing. You know, in the thick of it. On 6th Street in Austin. Ah! My top is, there we go. That was a good spin. Yes, I've been working down on 6th Street. You all know, I think the last time I did an episode, I think I was still working at the Vulcan Gas Company 1 year ago when I recorded episode number 33. This is episode number 34. And I think that I actually started recording in episode 34 a while back, but it was just me whining or something or being sad. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I stopped streaming whatever it was I was streaming and said, I don't even feel like doing this anymore. I don't know why I'm doing it. This is silly. Yada, yada, and ended the stream. And probably deleted it too. But, yeah, anyway, it's been over a year. It's actually been since a year and a month almost. Like, I think May 20th, I recorded the last episode of this podcast. So let's get into it. Man, over the last couple of weeks, I've done more stand-up, or I would say a couple of months, actually. I've done more stand-up comedy than in that stretch of time than I have in that stretch of time otherwise in my comedy career. Meaning that in the last month or so, month and a half, I've gone up. I've done a lot of sets. I think since I've done an episode here, I've gone up 4 times at the Comedy Mothership. I have done not bad every time. They haven't been great. I don't think I've had a single great set there. I've had 4 decent sets. But I think there's a part in each of them where I lose the crowd a little bit. That's another thing that I've kind of man, comedy is such a thing. You know, it's like it's such a fickle bitch to where it's like you'll be up there and you're like, man, I'm not feeling this. I don't like how this feels. I don't know how they're reacting to me. And then you'll listen to the recording and, you know, it sounds fine. And they're laughing. And while you're up there, you're like, oh, these guys hate me. But then sometimes you'll be up there and you're like, wow, this is really going well. Man, I'm doing it, you know? And then you listen to the recording and you're like, oh, I may be delusional. This wasn't going as well as I thought it was going. And I don't know, but it's in all of that, in all of the going up and nonsense, I've gotten good at being comfortable, no matter how, I've gotten good at being comfortable no matter how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'll be comfortable, whether or not it goes well. And yeah, I like the frozen dinner joke. I gotta figure out I gotta do better with that one. I gotta figure out how to deliver it a little better. I'm going to try that one the next time I go up at Mothership. I haven't been really doing a lot of the same. I'll try to like switch it up a little bit whenever I'm doing these jokes. I've got a couple that I'll do, not every time, but if I need a joke that I know can get a laugh, I have those jokes that I'll use. I've been trying this trick that a lot of comics use, but one person that I've noticed to do it like well is Brian Simpson, where he comes out and he hits you hard with 3 bangers. Like right out of the gate, and he tells you 3 jokes he knows you're going to laugh at. Because if you laugh at the first 3 jokes, then guess what? I'm funny. You know, like that's like a thing, but you do have to be funny after that. You can't just say anything after you get them to laugh at the first 3 jokes. Like, you have to still bring it after that. You have to be funny, you know. So that being said, I'm sorry, I realized I was still connected somewhere else. Anyway, but like, you still have to bring it after that. So I've been opening with a couple of the same jokes, and I know that they'll go well, but I think because I've been opening with the same couple jokes, I'm not delivering them in a way that's fresh to me because I'm falling out of love with them. You know what I mean? And that's something that I do. But that's something I got to work on, you know? But man, it's really cool whenever you can come out and just talk, and then you talk your way into a bit. Like if you continue whatever the comic before you was doing, like if you kind of hit on something that they were talking about, because it's fresh in the crowd's memory, and then you come out, you can ride the wave that they leave for you. And I really like that. So if you're going up after a good comic, it's good to be able to, it's easy to ride the wave. But if the comic before you doesn't leave much on stage for you, then they can kind of kill the room, which makes it even more fun, I think, to come up and try to, like, win them back after that. Like, all right, you've got, like, it could go one or two ways. It could be like they're already in the habit of not laughing, or it's like you have to come in, or they're desperate for anything, and any attempt at a joke is going to get them. But I've noticed that, like, Mothership, those crowds it's a tough crowd, honestly. You would think, like, you got to think they're going into this club where you got the best comedians in the living world coming in night after night. They're there for that, you know? So then whenever an open micer comes out and he's not, or he or she, they are not great, then it's like, hey, we're here for this, you know? But it's really cool, though, and I've seen it go both ways, where an open micer comes out and has a good set and gets like you know, like what would you call this? Like an experience point. You know what I mean? Like experience points where they're like, all right, we went up on a big stage. Just farted again. Went up on a big stage and did well. And by a big stage, just a very small stage in a pretty tight, concise room, a small room. But it's a big stage. You know what I mean? Like it's an important stage. Smells nice. I had to check. Did you hear that? Hell yeah. Anyway, I'm going to flip over to this because I'm going to do something that I don't. Anyway, it's green tea time, if you can't tell. I have a lot of fun going up on that stage. It's really cool. Like I said, I've done it 4 times so far. The second time, I think, went better than the rest. But I think I only feel that way because it might have been, I don't think it was the third one. What was it? I forget. Anyway, yeah, one of them had like a really strong closing, and I like that. Like if you can close strong, that's a good thing. But I really want every joke to hit. That's my goal. I haven't had one of those sets where every joke hits, but I'm looking for that. Anyway, I've kind of digressed from what I was talking about earlier. I was talking about, so yeah, I'm working at the Sunset now. My brother Red Band bought into a comedy club and suggested that I join the team, which I quickly accepted. It was a good idea, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here to help, and I want this thing to succeed. So it's going to. But, yeah, we got off to a little bit of a slow start, which I told everyone the whole time that we'll be glad that we had these times to, like, get into the swing of things, know the process of checking people in and getting the phone bags ready, and it's going to take some time, but now we're to the point to where we have decent crowds for every show, and it's getting to be a little, a lot more crowded inside the building, which is a good thing. And it's I mean, with the mothership being in town, that's the, creme de la creme. That's where everybody wants to go the most. And of course, we got, because Red Band went on Rogan and promoted the show and the club really well, we get a lot of, if someone can't get tickets at Mothership, they'll come over to Sunset Strip, because a lot of the comedians, like Brian Simpson comes over, Brian Holtzman, Ty Rivera, Darius Bennett, like Matt Lockwood, Derek and Hassan. I mean, a lot of the comics, Sam Lopez, a lot of the comics that come over from Mothership, the door staff, Fuzzy's around all the time. Casey's around doing shows. I'm just dropping a bunch of fucking names now. But I'm just name dropping, I'm gonna pick up all these fucking names. But no, we got a lot of really cool pop-ins that come in all the time from the Mothership. And it's so cool because it's like I call it the other ship. We're the comedy other ship. Me and Keith, I said the comedy brothership first, and then Keith Ray liked that a lot. But I've since updated it to the other ship, because I think other ship sounds cooler. But anyway, it's really cool working there, because mainly we do get spots. The spots are late on Wednesdays, and it's in a not, desirable. It's something that we kind of asked for. Like, could we just, after every comedy show, could we go up and do some time just at the end of the night? Just go up and do some time for whoever's in the room still, just for the staff, because we want stage time. So we ended up getting a night. So every week we've got a show that we do, which is really cool. So we're getting like 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes every week, which is really cool, and that's helping out a lot, because it's nice. And there's only, it's a staff showcase. So it's like a super low pressure show. Like it's not like we're gonna get fired if we do bad. It's like a super low pressure. You can do what you want, and I think that's the trick. That's the key to being funny, is being able to do what you want and not thinking about whether there's gonna be some vast consequence or something like that. It's really cool to just no pressure good set. So anyway, that's every Wednesday. If y'all ever find yourselves in Austin, every Wednesday at either 10 or midnight, whether or not Roast Battle happens. We'll be going up after Roast Battle every Wednesday, but I'm not sure if they're doing every other week now or every week. I'm not sure. Oh, good spin. I'm not sure how often they're doing the Roast Battle, so but we go up after whatever the last show of the day on Wednesday is, we go up. And man, it's really cool. We have small but mighty crowds, and the people that are there have a good time. And it really gives you like a nice, I don't know, it just makes you feel like you had a good set when you come off, no matter, even if it's just a couple people laughing. It's, that you can get a laugh. And if you get a laugh in a room like that, like if you can get 30% of a small room to laugh, 30% of a lot of people is a pretty good pop. Or, I'm maybe 60. Let's go 60. Let's go the other way. If you're focusing on the couple people that aren't laughing, I think that's the wrong way to go, because you're not going to get everybody. Or maybe you will. Maybe I'm just a shitty comic right now, but I won't be. I won't be forever, damn it. One of these days, I tell you, man, I want to smoke some more. I'm just feeling it today. Got this fucking party going on literally outside my wall. My poor roommate, his bed is up against the wall on the other house. Oh yeah, the daytime set. Oh dude, Mana here in the chat saw something rare. The old talk to him. Like I was just talking. Like those are where there's absolutely no pressure, because there's nobody in a room. It's you and a microphone. You go up, you're gonna do material. Like who's gonna laugh or not laugh, so that you can shift words around or whatever according to how they react. Like that's not what you do. It's cool to just talk. And when there's no pressure, you don't have to do anything. You're not burning any of your material. You just fucking talk. And then if you feel like, I don't know, I will always do this thing to where I'll kind of like, I'll talk for a while and see how that goes. And then at the end, whenever I get the light, I'll be like, all right, let's do a joke. So I'll tell like an actual joke when I get the light. And I'll do that at some of the mics too, because on like that Lucky Duck on Wednesday nights, it's like no pressure. Like you can, it's usually not a lot of people there, and they're at Lucky Duck. When I go up, it's usually later. There's not a lot of people there. The people that walk in, you can like play with them or whatever, and make, I don't know, make their experience cool for a second, or I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to just play around like that. Dave in the chat. Does Casey ever just talk? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Casey's like, but he's definitely that. Like, even in conversation, you can tell where it all comes from. But Casey's set starts 10 minutes before he goes on stage, because the whole time he's gearing up to go up there. It's really cool. He's fun to watch. Anyway, But yeah, that's a real thing. You can see how he is on Williams' podcast. That's what he's like. He's just like that. Like that's himself. Or his podcast is really funny too. I forget what it's called, but the Grimby. He says his inbox is flooded right now. Ever since Grimace took over the green tea time. Ever since Grimace took over the McDonald's social media or whatever, or the McDonald's takeover, he's like, dude, inbox is just full, like constant barrage of Grimace. It's kind of hilarious that like he is synonymous with Grimace now for a large chunk of the comedy community. That's kind of hilarious to me. Yo, once in a lifetime opportunities over here. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. So I had the opportunity to do the Mothership Showcase, to work at Comedy Mothership. Everybody's asked me this question a bunch. I still get DMs on Instagram asking me if I work there. I don't, but it's my fault because I went home to see my family for Christmas right after, I tried to go home for Christmas, but I was part of that Southwest, all those Christmas Day flight cancellations that happened this past year. Well, mine was one of them. And the flight that I was supposed to be on would have gotten me to Nashville, but I would have been stuck there for God knows how long. Anyway, I'm about to fart again. This is going to be a good one. You want to hear it? Listen close. Hold on. Listen, holding on. Did you hear it? I bet you didn't hear it. Anyway, it was my fault because I went home and I didn't really do I couldn't do any jokes. I couldn't do any set anywhere because there's no comedy club back home. And like, what am I going to just do my jokes in front of a room full of people that know me and it's just me doing a 3-minute set or whatever? Or I go up and do a long set and then I should have done something. I should have organized something. I could have, and I didn't. And that's why it's my fault, because I could have done some real stage time. But instead, I just timed myself over and over. I just timed myself, yeah, you heard it good. And just did my set holding a remote control in this wall mirror of this condo I was staying in Myrtle Beach. I just ran it over and over, and I did it while I was driving. And I just ran this set over and over, and I had the pauses, the timing, everything was right. For the jokes I picked, I shouldn't have picked the jokes I picked. There were a couple I would have kept, and there were a couple that got good laughs, but these sets went up at the very end of a long comedy show, like after the secret show was over and the crowd was tired. Then the showcase started. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you the run of things and how it happened. And the great Hassan Ahmad ran the marathon of hosting this entire thing where there were like 32 comics doing 3 minutes each. So he explained, this sounds like a lot of comics, but they're only doing 3 minutes each. So they're going to be boom, boom, boom. It's going to be comic for the rest of the night. All these guys are trying to get a job over at Comedy Mothership. This is how it's going to be. And Hassan is a bad motherfucker, dude. And I always group him and Derek and Sam and all together because they just, in my mind, they're I don't know. I've got them grouped together and I fucking love them so much. I'm just bragging on them all the time to random people. But yeah, like, anyway, Hassan hosted this thing, and I went up, I don't remember, somewhere around the middle, towards the end of it, and I followed Casey Rocket. Casey Rocket went up right before me, and, like, I don't know, it was, I think, Keith, then Casey, or Casey, me, then Keith. But it was like Casey and Keith both got it and I didn't. And I know why I didn't, because I like I said, I fucked up. But I should have just said, I got a different vibe about me, or I'm different. I don't have that kind of energy, or I bring a different energy. I should have addressed anything at all, but I had my set perfectly figured out the way that I wanted to do it. So I went up and I went straight into jokes, and I was like nervous. It felt like a brick wall when I got up there, and I knew the second that I told the first joke and it didn't land, oh my God, I chose the wrong jokes. And I had that thought in a time where it wasn't good to have that thought, and I fucked up. Like, I lost it. I brought it back. I mean, I listened to it a couple of times. I got laughs, but it wasn't the kind of thunderous, like, it wasn't anything close to what the other guys were doing. And, like, I'm just quite, if I'm honest, I'm just not where they are. You know, I'm just not there. And it's obvious. And that's why it was my fault. And it needed to happen. And I'm glad that it did. Because, man, those experience points that you end up with when something like that happens is just worth it. It's so fucking worth it, man. But yeah, they did that, and I was stoked that I was put on. You know, I was stoked that I was given the opportunity. That meant a fucking lot. And like, when people asked me how I thought it went, I was honest with them. I was like, it wasn't my best set. Like, I could have gone better. Won them with the closer, but lost them in the middle pretty hard and didn't really grab them at the beginning. And that's just my fault, man. And all it showed was that I was an inexperienced comic, because I couldn't handle walking on stage after somebody who's very experienced and just absolutely decimates. Like, that's what it was. And I'll get there. I'll 1,000% get there, because I've never not ended up where I wanted to go. And that might sound like a brag, but I think that it's more of a just how it is. You know, I'm not trying to, I've never not ended up where I wanted to go. So I'll end up, you know, I'll reach my destination. But I'm really grateful that it turned out the way that it did, because I feel like I gained a bit of respect and humility and, like, a humbling experience. It's nice to get those when you need them. And it's almost like when you look back, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, that is abuse. But I look back at some of the spankings I got when I was a kid, where I was like, oh yeah, I needed that. That was a good thing that I needed to happen. And not comparing this to that, by the way. But all I'm saying is that sometimes it's good to have something that sort of slaps you down to earth. You know what I mean? Something that like says, okay, it's time to reevaluate some things. Let's start being a little more selective on the jokes we want to do. Let's try these things out on stage and only do the jokes you know get laughs. It's not a time to go up here and experiment with things that you think are funny. Do that on stages that it doesn't matter, but on a stage that does matter, let's make a little bit of a plan and kind of test it a couple times first to see how it feels. And that's where I'm getting, but also kind of to just, I'm wanting to talk. I just want to talk and then slip jokes in as I talk. It's kind of hard to do that in those 3-minute sets that we get in the little boy room. But on some of the longer sets that we do, like our showcase set, I'll kind of go out and just talk myself into a joke. Maybe tell a joke. Hell yeah, Valish. Good to see you. It was good to see everybody for the 10-year reunion. That was cool. Nice having everybody in town. It was really, I'll tell you what was cool was that just because there were so many Kill Tony folks in town and my biggest following I've gotten because of Kill Tony. So every show that I did, there were a lot of Kill Tony fans in the crowd who like kind of knew who I was. And that really helped a lot. Like it was almost like going up for my own crowd in a way, which I know that's not what it was, but it was kind of like that a little bit. Even at Secret Show, man, this past Secret Show, when the 10-year happened, when everybody was in town, that was pretty cool. Whenever I walked out on the stage and like people started clapping before, that was a really cool thing. Just like I just wave and people start making noise just from being there. Like it was just that kind of week when everybody was in town. So that was cool. But yeah, man, I kind of realized that there were a lot of things in my life that I had utilized in a way to keep me home because I feared that not being home would give me more opportunity to like relapse or just not, I don't know, just be in a situation I was uncomfortable with. But that set a dangerous game into motion, and it got to the point where I didn't want to leave my house at all. And then all of a sudden I left my house and I got on an airplane and I visited Austin. And then next thing you know, I decide I'm moving to Austin. I'm not just leaving my house, but I'm leaving the town that I've lived in for the last 15 years. And then I'm moving here. And when I get here, I'm going out and I'm having fun and I'm hanging out and it's all going cool. But then one day I'm out and I think, oh man, man, it would be cool to do a shot. And then I'm like, oh man, I know that I can't do that. So I have that thought, and I'm like, dude, I really, like, I gotta get out of here. So then I stay home, and then I have the Discord, and I just come home and I jump in the Discord, and I'm in voice chat all of the time. Like every free minute that I have, I'm spending there. And man, I really just, and this is just me. I'm not putting this on nobody else. I'm just telling my side of what I'm feeling. I was like, this stuff used to bring me so much happiness, and it like brought me out of a dark place. But it almost has me in a darker place just because, you know, it's like a demon that finds you when you're weak, and it heals you and brings you back to health, and you're indebted to it. And you're so indebted to it that you forget that it was a demon at all. So I feel like that's how the Discord kind of ended up for me, to where it was like, oh, this is a thing that's like sort of nursing me into like, did you guys watch Big Mouth, the depression kitty? How it's just like, oh, come over here to me. Like, it was sort of like that to me, I feel like. And then it just got to be to where that started taking over my mind, and then it started to exhibit toxic behavior, and then it started to feel like I was the only one that noticed it or the only one that felt like it. And I tried my best to make it a place where and this was just me being kind of selfish, I tried to make it a place where I was comfortable, and then that was compromised. So I was just like, I don't want to be part of this anymore, and I'm just getting out of it. And like kind of shutting off all other access internet wise, because like, I'm gonna be honest, like I love it. I love everybody, and I appreciate all of the the love from the internet, because I'm an internet person myself. But man, it's really hurting me to not be out in the world living my life when I'm in the middle of this comedy boom that's going on right now. Like, I shouldn't be sitting at home telling other people about it so much as being out there and being part of it. And I've really been capitalizing on that truth over the last few weeks. And it's really been the best decision I've made in a really long time, to just kind of delete the reason that I need to get home. Like, now I go home whenever I'm tired of being out, but I'll leave the house and get to work 45 minutes, an hour early sometimes, and just go sit at the bar and just chill. That's like me doing my, how do I say, that's like me doing my time. Like, I'm putting in my time. I'm putting my hours in on not being home. I'm putting my hours into making myself stay away from my house for a little bit longer. Or sometimes when I'm real tired after work, I just want to come home. And I allow myself to do that. I don't force myself to stay out if I'm just like I have a fucking my conscience, I will think, should we go home today? No, let's stay out. All right, why not? I have this fucking like psychopath conversation with myself where I'm like, man, going home sounds pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it does. You know what? Let's go home today. We'll stay out tomorrow. And then sometimes I'll sit down after work. I'll clock out and I'll chill. I'll roll a J and chat it up with whoever's around. Have a couple of non-alcoholic IPAs, which is a thing now, and they're awesome. Because, I like IPAs. Don't fucking judge me. Yeah, you know? Don't you be out here judging nobody. IPAs. Anyway. I'll sit and I'll enjoy one of those or two of those with my coworkers and whoever else is hanging around. And I'm making more of a conscious effort to be part of the hang. And then after I leave work, I'll go over to the Creek and Cave and do the open mic there and go out on the patio and see who all is there. And I'm putting myself out into the world now in a way that I've never done before, minus alcohol, you know? Or the only thing I do is green tea, you know? That's the only, and speaking of which, it's time. Let's do it. The only thing I do is the green tea. Now, I do it a lot, but it's my thing. It's what I do. Like, it's the one thing that I have. I have this belief that you need at least one vice, you know, something that your brain needs something bad, as crazy as that sounds, especially if you have an addictive personality, which I have one of those. I have a very addictive personality, and I'm ashamed of this fact, but the truth is if you have an addictive personality, it's going to find something if you don't give it something. So I give it the green tea. You know, that's the way for me. And it works out. It's something that the worst case scenario, I'm just, talking too much about nothing that nobody cares about. Food is another thing. All right, let's spark them up. Food is another thing that I am pretty into. Like, if I'm being honest, my McDonald's order is a double bacon quarter pounder meal large with either a Dr. Pepper or a bottled water. Sometimes I'll have Dr. Pepper, sometimes I'll have bottled water. I never know. It depends on how I feel. And then I'll get 2 triple cheeseburgers and 2 McChickens. So I'll have 5 sandwiches and a large fry. I mean, dude, I'm honestly, I can tell you that I eat that much, but it gives me anxiety to think about actually eating it in front of people. But that's what I should do. Is I should let people I should probably let people send me an order. Like, all right, I'm going to go to McDonald's, send me the money and send me this order and I'll fucking eat it. That would be the hilarious thing to do. But, oh yeah. I was very much so the one, like, I couldn't do one and done. There was no such thing. Listen to this. Hey, that was a good one. I mean, I eat a lot at once. That's my thing. I will eat a lot at once, usually once a day. On the days that I work, I eat once, and it's when I get off work and home. So I will work all day hungry, and I will be there and get my steps in. I've been getting my steps in. I've been doing that on my work days. I'm going to have a few days off work, by the way, so you guys will probably be seeing a little bit more of me than normal over the next, coming week. we're taking a long weekend, and man, I need the nice little recovery because I haven't been feeling that great. My sinuses have been bothering me, and it's just been annoying. So it's going to be nice to recover a little bit. But yeah, anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, I could never do the have one drink and just move on. Like I was fucking partying, and then I already responded to that, and then I eat once. Yeah, intermittent fasting. There you go. Good call. So yeah, I don't eat. I don't eat at all day, like nothing. And people will offer me shit all day. We're right next to Voodoo Donuts, like right above Happy Chicks. People are ordering food all day long and saying, "You want a fry? You want a donut?" Or they're walking like it's. And nope. I'm trying to quit. I always say that. Nope, I'm trying to quit. Make it funny. But really, the thing is like, dude, you don't understand. Like, if I put that amount of food in my body, I'm going to get so mad that it's going to be a problem. Like, I have to not eat anything at all and know in my mind that when I finish doing what I've got to do, I'm going to be able to just chief down as much food as I can literally afford at that moment, and then to take a bite of something and get it in my belly, and then my belly's like, well, that's it? Oh, well, you about to give everybody around you a bad day. And that is exactly how that works. That's why I always belay the food. You say, do I drink coffee? What's funny is generally no, not a coffee guy. In fact, I will go so far to say is that I'm not a big caffeine guy. Minus then like some soda caffeine, but I try not to drink the sodas very often at all. I really try. I'll get a 2-liter when I need a new gravity bong. And sometimes I will crack out and get 2 liters and drink them both in a sitting because I'm just a savage. But ever since I started working at Sunset, we have coffee there. And if we have hot coffee, I'll drink hot coffee. If we don't, we have a cold brew that I wasn't crazy about to begin with. It's like a pecan cold brew. But I liked coffee to taste like coffee, like bitter, and, just because I drink black coffee. And I just wanted it to taste like that. But this cold brew's kind of grown on me because it has a little flavor to it. Even drinking it black, it still has, it's like a little pecan flavor to it, which I really enjoy. So I've been drinking that lately, and that kind of keeps me chipper during the day. I'll have a couple of those. Boy, I had 3 of them the other day, and let me tell you, I almost shit my pants all day long. I was so scared. I fart a lot, but man, not that day I didn't. I was like, that was the last thing I wanted to do that day. Working at the Starbucks did burn me out on the coffee when I worked there, but that kind of burned me out on coffee people, because people, man, you think people are upset. You think people are upset at anything in general. You get them in the morning when you stand between them and the thing that lets them live that day. Like, if you are the one that's giving them the coffee, they have so much more anger towards you than they should. But I digress. Yeah, I drink the coffee now, and that keeps me going during the day. But I have to know in my mind that when I get off, I can go to Tyson's Tacos and get 2-3 taco plates. So I'm eating 6 tacos and 2 portions of beans and rice, and then potentially also chips and queso. Or I'm going to P. Terry's and getting 2 double bacon cheeseburgers with a fry and water. And then I'm also getting maybe 2 crispy chicken burgers because they're fucking delicious. So at any given time, like if I go to a place, I'm getting 4 to 5 sandwiches. Tacos, 6 tacos. I used to get 8. I would get 2 plates, I would get 2 plates and then 2 more tacos. But yeah, I eat so much when I eat. Like, it's disgusting. Maybe I shouldn't mukbang it out. Just like, all right, who wants to... I just throw my Venmo up there and be like, who wants to donate to the fund of how much food I'm going to get for myself tonight? And that'll be a cool way to do it. Be like, I'm going to tell you this is what... Because I don't want to eat the kind of things that everybody else wants me to. Like, if somebody's like, I want you to get, like, this disgusting fucking thing, I don't want that to happen. But it might be kind of funny if I'm just like, hey, if you guys want to donate to the fund, you, like, put a picture of some sort of food in the thing, and I'll give you a shout-out whenever I get whatever I get because you helped me get it. Like, maybe that'll be cool. I don't know. But, dude, just thinking about doing it, just sit here and just fucking eat all of this food right in front of you. Man, that's a terrifying thought. But it might be worth it. You never know. It could be worth it to... a lot of people have said I should do it. And I do know a lot of people like watching that kind of content because they don't eat that much food. And they just like watching people do it. And I already do it freelance for no money. I may as well get a little something out of it. You know? That's a way. I don't know. It's interesting the kind of thing that people like to watch. Because even my algorithm, I'll go click it right now. My algorithm it's all like comedy clips, but it's also like pizza making, Chinese restaurant, street food, carpet cleaning. You know, the things that people watch. 12 pounds of pizza, man, that I would have done it. But no, actually I wouldn't have, because that we were going to do this thing where we were going to record this pizza challenge, because let me be honest, a food challenge is like my serving size. Like, that would be like, dude, I can do it. No problem. We ordered the pizza from this place. Wasn't good. Was not good. Pizza was bad. It's like, I don't want to eat 11 pounds of this. Like, I don't want to eat the rest of this bite that I just took. It just wasn't good. Bob Ross, dude. By the way, Bob Ross is the man. He makes me want to paint. And I think that was his goal. Can you guys hear this music now? I'm going to put my microphone up against the wall, see if you guys can hear something coming through the wall. Tell me if you hear this. Y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that shit? It's pretty loud, and it's a midnight right now. Like, this is getting to be ridiculous. Yeah, my poor roommate, he's got a gig in the morning. He's playing at a church gig in the morning. He can't even sleep in his room because the bass is literally rattling his wall. He's up in the front of the house sleeping in his studio right now. It was crazy. Oh, the massive steak challenge. I think we already talked about doing that. Amarillo was a little bit of a drive. Me and my boy Netflix. I don't know if Netflix is still in the chat. He was in here earlier. But we were talking about going up to Amarillo. He was like, dude, if you drive, like I'll, and I was like, dude, we get up there, I'm going to eat this damn thing. Like, I'm going to eat it. Like, dude, I want that. Yeah, dude. Dude, this has been going on all day. It woke me up today, this music. Like, it's just a lot of very loud bass. It's ridiculous. This has happened once before, I think. Actually, Michael Ridley, you guys seen him on Kill Tony recently. He actually works with Kill Tony. He was here the last time this shit happened because the next day, me and him both got pulled back to back on a Fahim Anwar episode. And I said that on Kill Tony that night that I think the Congolese people had a party because they tried to connect to our television, and we were searching all of the, like we were searching the name that tried to connect, and all of the name were like of Congolese descent. Anyway, would I fast before? No. You see, you don't want to fast because if you fast, like the longer you don't eat, the less food that it takes to fill you up. The longer you take from eating, the less food, the amount of food that it takes to fill you up. So if I were to fast for, I don't know, you got to prime the pump. You know what I mean? You got to prime the pump. Man, yeah, I just want the cheese and the pepperoni. Honestly, they Domino's was making this thing of dips, like, but it was just pizza toppings in a little tray, little tin, which I didn't mind. I only had them once, but man, I almost want them to be like just crispy, like chips almost, like crunchy cheese chips. That would be good. But yeah, I could do that. The stomach shrinks when you feel hunger pains. I don't know about that. But, dude, I can eat a lot of fucking food. I think I might do that. I might just try to get people to send me money to eat a bunch of food with. And then record a video of eating said food. I mean, here's the thing. I'm already going to eat it. I may as well record myself doing it. Dude, I don't live in an apartment. I live in a house on the corner lot in a, like, not shitty neighborhood. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's happening right over there, whatever's going on. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad for the homie that's gotta get up early as shit. He's gotta get up literally in like 6.5 hours. So that sucks. Can I pick the restaurant? Yeah, I mean, I would, I think maybe it would be cool if somebody just like, I don't want somebody to send me money and be like, hey, you have to go to this place and get this thing. Or maybe I just do a Patreon. I'll just put it behind a Patreon paywall and the people that want to see the mukbangs can pay it. But no, because then you can't start off with a Patreon. You have to do it for free. And then do the Patreon later for additional content. Ooh, that might be the way to do it. to be like any donation, food donation goes to the public mukbang, and you'll get a shout out or whatever on the YouTube, Twitch stuff. But if the Patreon, but if you do the Patreon, you get to choose the restaurant and the dish. But I would still want to have some sort of would it be reasonable to have a little bit of veto power in it? Or to be like, there would be things that I wouldn't eat, like if I would just put like the restaurants that are available to me, like if I would just put the restaurants that are available to me if there's anything there that I wouldn't eat in large quantities. But I don't want somebody to like just send me like, I don't know. It would be because I know somebody will send you like $100 like, hey, eat as many double cheeseburgers as this will buy. And I'm like, dude, that's like I don't know about that. See, that's why I wanted this little bit of, not total control, I guess, but there's levels to this thing, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's supposed to feel good and be fun. See, that's the thing. Maybe I should just like say fuck it and just go out and get my food, get exactly what I want. And I'm going to be like, all right, this is what we're doing right here. We're going to eat 40 chicken nuggets and 5 double cheeseburgers and I don't know. But that's the kind of shit I'd be doing. Or if I go to Whataburger. See, Whataburger is different because their burgers are huge. So 5 McDoubles. I would say 5 McDoubles are probably the equivalent to like 2 regular like double meat Whataburgers. Because their Whataburgers are huge. And I would mostly do this. Oh, dude, Terry Black's. Yo. Dude, 100%. Dude, for Terry Black's. But I don't know if I could film there, if I would want to film there. But I mean, I guess why wouldn't I? I would have to. Terry Black's is fire. Well, I don't know what you have out there or what Whataburger would be comparable to. Dude, P. Terry's menu, I'm all about. Like, I mean, I like the crispy chicken burger. I have had the grilled chicken burger. It's also decent. But yeah, dude, P. Terry's French fries, man, their banana bread, that banana bread is fire, dude. Man, that banana bread got me wanting that green tea, got me wanting some more of that green tea action for that banana bread. While I've got you here, boy, Screwball whiskey sure is delectable, isn't it? I've heard that it's wonderful with cranberry juice. It gives the idea of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You should go get yourself as much of the Screwball whiskey as you can, responsibly, of course, and drink it deliciously with cranberry juice. Get you that peanut butter and jelly feeling. Right now, we're sparking them up. Green tea time. And boy, I tell you, that's what we're here to do. And man, let me tell you something here. Listen. Dude, there ain't nothing but banana bread hype. And the root beer milkshake is very good. They got the chocolate and chip cookies. Chocolate and chip. I said chocolate chip cookies. Whataburger has chocolate chip cookies too. They come in these like individual packed things. I wish they were like freshly baked cookies, but those are good. And any cookie that comes out like that, the secret, slip it into the microwave for like 8 seconds. Maybe 9, but 8. It does it. Anyway, Gunther, how art thou? We were just talking about a way that you could do these mukbang videos and make them I gotta figure out a way to make money outside of my job, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to work a regular job. I'm not much count at it, and it's not for me. The comedy club isn't a regular job. I can do that. Door guying is not a regular job, and I honestly love it. I could do that. But I got to find another way to make some money. So if I could get a little mukbang thing going and start doing that, and man, it might be a nice little way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You handle food, but you also handle content. And you also have a little, you have a little bit of like I don't know, an interactive aspect to it, where I've had several people say that when they hear how much food I eat, they're like, you should do a mukbang. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's like, I don't know that it works when you look like me. Maybe it does. But I don't know. I'd try it out maybe. I love how when I first started talking about this earlier, like, I remember talking about this earlier, like, or I was like, oh man, just doing it in front of people, knowing it, I could tell you, but I think that's kind of like, I've kind of moved past that already, because I'm like, I'm not really bashful about anything. Happy Canada Day. Oh, is that what these guys are celebrating outside? Maybe they're a bunch of Canucks. They're over there celebrating Canada Day, but I haven't heard a single Tragically Hip song. Nothing by Rush. Nothing. Just ordered a whole bunch. Hell yeah. Man, that might be a good idea. I do this shit so late though, so it might be limited. I could wake up early to but I don't know. I eat food late at night, so it's kind of needs to be late night places that I would eat from. That'd probably just be like eating a fuckload of McDonald's. You want to talk about Rush? I'll talk about Rush. Everybody says Rush, one of the greatest bands of all time, which I don't absolutely disagree with, but don't you think they would have been a little bit better if they just took their time? My top just stopped spinning. Did you guys hear that? Oh boy. What is Rush? I don't know what Rush is. Is that there's a Rush's burger joint in Columbia, South Carolina. Is that the same thing? Oh, thrush. Hey. Thrush. Yeah, this is by the way, this is what I used to do all the time. Before I started like spending all of my time in Discord, I would stream for hours on end on YouTube and just kind of talk. I sort of did like I used to be so organized and so clean with how I did all of this stuff. Like, I would be recording video separately than audio, and I would be I would have an audio file when I got done that I would then upload to this website so that the episode would show up on like Spotify and shit. Like, and they're all still there, by the way. You can go back and listen to old episodes of MI Stuff anytime you want to. They're everywhere. MI Stuff podcast is like 100 and something episodes of me just kind of talking, just being my own therapist, learning how to self-heal and become self-aware and unpack my own shit. Like, I really did that for a long time. Did this. So I'm just so lazy about it now to where I just turn the video on and it just goes to YouTube and Twitch. And once it's gone from Twitch, it's on YouTube, and that's it. I really should, I don't know, maybe one day I will get somebody to go through here and pull all the audio off and catch up on the back end of wherever I've uploaded these things. But to be honest, some of them haven't been that good, you know? I don't know that it's worth having them out there. Maybe I'll make this, maybe I'll make the lyric thing I want to do, a podcast that I upload places. Talking is healing. Yeah, Jason listened to a couple of those MI Stuff episodes. There's a lot of them. It's out there. Then most of them have video as well. Most of them is here. And I noticed that not everybody has that to where they can't look at problems. And it's almost like if you have something, yeah, you're right about that. Bad bucket pulls. Like, when, I don't know, I feel like I'm so good at self-correcting, and I don't know that anybody else is as good at self-correcting as I am. But sometimes I will fault them for not noticing something that they need to change. I'll do that, and I'm bad about that, and I'm not. It's not fair of me, but I do it. Yeah, you're right. I should release all of the stuff, but who knows? It's still all here on YouTube. Like, everybody could have access to it. But there's a lot of that stuff where it's just me rambling like this, where it's, I don't know how much content you can get out of it or how cool this or boring this must be. But I've gotten to the point where I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm just kind of here. And, you know, it's like you don't want to leave yet. I'm not ready to go. Like, I'm not ready to, you know, how about this? Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I hope you heard that. I hope so. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't have anything else to do. There was a show that I was watching on Netflix called two-sentence horror stories. I watched a lot of them, and most of them are very, very silly, but a couple of them are kind of fun. And they're only 20 minutes each. So I've been watching them like over the last couple of days, trying to find new stuff to watch. By the way, I've been watching lately. This is something I used to do at MI Stuff, and I can't remember if I did it at the beginning or at the end. I think I used to do it at the end, actually. And you guys should totally go back, and if you see a title of one of them that catches your eye, you should watch it or listen to it or wherever. But I would give like a couple of, like 3 things that I think you should watch or 3 things I think you should listen to. Lately, I've been watching like a lot of the serial killer things. I watched Dahmer like twice recently, which isn't settling. I get. But I've also been watching like Chernobyl, the HBO documentary, a lot. And then the 3 Mile Island thing on Netflix. And then Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix with Graham Hancock. And man, it's like all of those things are really cool, interesting stories in the Ancient Apocalypse. Like it's fun. And there's just so much. All of these things have been kind of just happening on repeat, little by little. And then whenever I get ready to fall asleep, I put on Wednesday. And then Wednesday goes into Fear Street, and then Fear Street goes into Stranger Things. But I sleep. I've put on Wednesday episode 1, and then I always wake up somewhere in the middle of Fear Street part 2. The Mud Flood Tartaria Rabbit Hole. What does that mean? Oh, yeah. Old World Hidden in Plain Sight. Nice. Oh, yeah, about Tony getting to the bucket kind of quick. Yeah, they really streamline that process of bucket pulls. What they'll do is they'll pull a bucket pull, and then they'll pass that bucket pull off to one of the staff, and then the staff goes to get that person and brings them in so that they're waiting whenever. So it's kind of really cool. It's a nice streamlined process that got figured out that works really well. I want to go up in there again, but I haven't been signing up lately. I've only signed up like 3 or 4 times since Skankfest, and I've still got my room and everything for Skankfest. I don't know 100% if I'm 100% going. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I hadn't gone up and killed Tony since Skankfest. So, what show are we talking about? I haven't seen that Love, Death, and Robots. I haven't watched that one. Maybe I'll throw it on later. But all of the Black Mirrors just came out. All of those Black Mirrors, man. Those were very good. But there is one called Lock Henry that, in my opinion, is the best. Ooh, I might watch that after this, because that's a good thing to rewatch. It's so good. You know, kind of the twists are so big. I don't want to give a lot away, but you know, like in some of the Black Mirrors, it's almost like, wow, once is enough somehow. But yeah, so I've been watching that lately in a random Let me click over here on my. I know I've got my Netflix open. I'm gonna get out of this. I don't want to play that. No, I don't want to watch the next episode yet. So yeah, I watched the first episode of this show called Sweet Tooth. Wasn't crazy about it. Oh, so the Umbrella Academy. That was a show that was way cooler than I thought it was going to be. So I got into that. I think I watched the first season a long time ago and was like, all right, this looks like it could be cool, but meh. But then I waited forever, and then the third season came out. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go back and watch season 2. Season 2 of The Umbrella Academy is epic. I mean, it could be one of the cooler seasons of any show ever. Like, it's up there for me as far as just being cool. Some of the historical things that occur, like it was like, I don't know, it was a really, really cool thing to see. And I thought it was excellent. Season 3 was all right. But, yeah, season 2 was great. Black Mirror, though, the Lock Henry episode is excellent. There's a couple of other episodes that are pretty good. I think the earlier ones are better than the later ones, maybe. But I forget. Anyway. It's like that's what real horror is, I think. And I like horror stuff. But I think real horror is like Black Mirror. Real things that could happen. I never watched The Twilight Zone. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go back and watch that. I enjoyed going back to watch Doctor Who. But I still never went back and watched the original Doctor Who. I only started at the reboot, which I shouldn't have done. I've been watching a good bit of David Lynch stuff lately. I watched Blue Velvet the other day. Adam Egget walked by and he was wearing a Blue Velvet shirt. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. And I was like, dude, I'm going to watch that shit later. So came home and I watched it a couple times, dude. I think, and if none of you have ever seen Blue Velvet, it's a David Lynch movie, you should watch it. But I think a good alternate title for that movie could have been, well, this is an uncomfortable erection, because there's so many times in that movie where something so strange and so creepy and not cool but also kind of hot is happening, which is kind of David Lynch's whole thing. Like, this is a little weird, it's a little creepy, but it's kind of hot. A little weird, a little hot. Green tea, I'll give you a few seconds to gather your things. And man, yeah, Dennis Hopper was so good. Like the whole thing, like, I don't know, the whole thing was pretty crazy. Everybody in that, and oh my God, I forgot how, and I'm a guy, give me this. I forgot how attractive the great and powerful, Jesus Christ, what is her name? Why am I blanking on her name? I mean, she's from one of my favorite movies of all time. And don't tell me I'm not going to look. Why does this burn so bad? Laura Dern, the sip of water that I needed, the hydration to my soul. Laura Dern. Man, was she something else in that movie. I mean, and man, it was, I don't know. There was just a few times in that movie where it was just really strange. And Kyle MacLachlan is a badass. I love Kyle MacLachlan. He's the best. But I actually went on this rampage lately and acquired all of the David Lynch movies. And I'm planning on doing that over the next few weeks. Just going back from to the beginning, start with Eraserhead and then just go forward. But that was going to be cool. As far as stuff I've been listening to lately, I've been listening to Pavement Range Life almost on repeat. Also, a song called Tarifa by Sharon Von Etten. There is somebody who watches Virtual Red Band with the name Blue Velvet. Noticed him in the chat. But Tarifa by Sharon Von Etten was a song from Twin Peaks Season 3. Very cool song. And, man, I really like here lately The Cold Water by Tom Waits. Oh, my top is stuck on the edge. Oh, it just came out of the edge. It went on the edge for a really long time, and now it just came back to the center. But we're gonna do this green tea thing. You had a few seconds to gather your things here. So green tea time. Let me get a good spin. There's a good spin. That's a great spin, actually. Green tea time. Twin Peaks soundtrack is very good. The great Angelo Badalamenti is a bad mother. I'm trying not to say too many curse words in this one. I'm trying something. Wait, have I already fudged that up? Who knows? I forget. I probably have because I'm me. But anyway, trying something different. Long story short, I've been neglecting a large portion of a following that I have here for a really long time, and I don't want to do that anymore, and I'm just trying to find different ways to release content here in all of these places. I've gotten really I've caught the bug of clipping videos and editing them of jokes that I've done, and I've enjoyed getting a handful of views here and there on things. That's been really nice lately, so I kind of want more of that to put out, so I'm going to start getting people to Venmo me money to eat food on the internet. Maybe we'll do some loops. Maybe we'll do a little looping. Professor Lupin. Maybe we'll do some of that. I'll try to get some clips and do some shorts, because shorts are what's really going well. Like little less than a minute clips, or maybe less than 90 seconds, I think. But that's the way. But all of that being said, I think that I've talked myself into all of these different shows that I like to watch, and I kind of want to watch some of them. So I'm going to do that. But you never know. You might be getting yourselves a little mukbang stream later. You never know. We'll see what happens. I never plan that far ahead, but I do feel like eating a lot of food. Oh, man, Stub Muffin's the man. I guarantee you that if I told him I wanted to do something like that he would be 100% down. Yeah, he's the man. By the way, everybody that hears this should be all up on Stub Muffin's YouTube. And I know everybody who is here is on his, but like if anybody ever hears this in the future, Stub Muffin the Pimp, be on, like, know who he is, because he's an incredible human, and he is so smart. See, I messed up. He is so smart, so I had to have done it before. He is so good at what he does, man. So good at what he does. But anyway, I wish you all a wonderful evening, and I'm going to see about acquiring a certain amount of food. May or may not see me post videos about eating it. Who knows? Roll Tide to you, and drink Screwball whiskey. In a world full of shitty people, don't be one of those people. Be a good person. It ain't that hard. Drink Screwball whiskey. SKREW ballwhiskey.com. Tomorrow's stories begin right here. Hashtag get screwed. Hashtag screw it forward. Get screwed responsibly. Go get yourself a couple bottles. You wish you had two if you only get one. And yeah, just keep doing that and be responsible. Roll Tide to y'all. And a good evening as well. Waka waka.
Well, safer than a tube sock.